Hi there guys, welcome back to F1 Updates. The new season is upon us and race weekend is so close that we can almost taste it. True to Formula 1 fashion, a fresh new controversy has come to light as we approach race day. Ferrari garnered attention during the Formula 1 testing in Bahrain with a new and improved front wing idea. This is mainly because it is identical to an idea introduced by Mercedes at the US Grand Prix last year that was outlawed by the FIA. The design in question has the potential to defeat the goal of the front wing restrictions implemented last year, which was to reduce the aerodynamic outwash effect. Although the FIA rejected Mercedes' plan, the Ferrari concept was reviewed by the federal authority. Is what they did legal? Will Ferrari be in big trouble for their bold design? Find out all about that in this video. When it unveiled its new SF23 Formula 1 vehicle earlier this month, Ferrari flatly stated that its innovative front-wing design was totally legal. Last year at the US Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas, we saw Mercedes turn up with a new front wing that had something no one else in Formula 1 had seen before. Mercedes came up with a front wing that had elements which the FIA was not quite sure about. The front wing of their car had some strikes which seemed to have the secondary benefit of directing the air in front of the car rearward along the car. The original FIA rule was that the primary goal of the front wing needed to be structural, but Mercedes argued that there should be a secondary benefit to their front wing, which was the aerodynamic one. They claimed the new front wing was okay because the rule didn't say anything about the secondary benefit of a front wing. It only stated that the primary goal had to be structural. There was quite a lot of objection to this new development. None of the teams were happy with what Mercedes had done by using their front wing to gain an aerodynamic advantage. Even though at the time the rules about the front wing were vague, the FIA initially allowed them to race with the altered front wing. Despite this, Mercedes decided not to use this front wing at the next race in Mexico. That whole problem seemed to have died down until this pre-race season, when we saw the same strike on the front wing of Ferrari's SF23. It's important to note that the rules going into 2023 were changed, and the FIA altered the wording of that particular clause. The new rules allow that these strikes can be there as long as they conform to very strict measurement rules. So in essence, this length of the front wing strikes will be guided by the FIA specified length, width, and height. Even the angle of the strikes have been outlined by the FIA. So long as teams conform to these strict guidelines, then the FIA has no problems with the strikes. The whole idea behind the strikes is that they direct the air towards the front wheels, or even towards the fences in front of the floor of the car. This acts in a way that the air in front of the car works just as they want it to, which is to have it go down to the rear of the car. These front wing strikes are just another way that the aerodynamicists can tweak the little details in the car to make the car work for Ferrari even more. This is going to make for a pretty interesting season, because we've not seen these front wing strikes on any other car, but we might end up seeing them in the next car Mercedes would bring to the tracks. So far, the only major differences in the other cars that we can tell are the side pods. Now, we think that we might see more of Ferrari's competitors come up with their own versions of the front wings with the strikes now that they're covered by the FIA rules. It may have been an idea which Mercedes first brought to the limelight, but in Formula 1, no idea is completely safe from your rivals. With something like the strikes that can give Ferrari an advantage, even if it's the tiniest of advantages, they would definitely want to capitalize on it. Like we said, it wouldn't be a surprise if every team starts racing with a modified version of the front wings. For now, the cars would definitely be rolling out during testing. I can already imagine the engineers at Mercedes and Ferrari working overtime just to make sure they get their own front wing strikes right. Ferrari, on the other hand, might want to stick to the winning formula they have discovered. I don't really think Ferrari has done anything illegal because the rules clearly make provisions for their front wings with strikes. Ferrari definitely seems like a team that's had a lot of hope for the upcoming season. However, the reliability of their engine is definitely a part that the team needs to upgrade the most. If they fail to fix these particular issues, then they would definitely have a hard time figuring out how to beat Verstappen and Red Bull. It's common sense. If the car doesn't have reliability, then it would not be able to go through those 3 days before the Grand Prix. This means they'd end up starting on the wrong foot for most of the races. It's only Bahrain that will tell us where Ferrari is in terms of engine performance. So far, there's been nothing but praise from those on the Ferrari team. Everyone there is quite excited about how the upcoming season would look like with their new car. They will, however, be racing with a little bit of pressure because there have been rumors that their A-list driver, Charles Leclerc, has been linked to leaving Ferrari if they fail to provide him with a championship-winning car by the 2024 season. This is why Ferrari has decided to go for solutions that are a bit different compared to last year's car. They know that they can't rely on increased time in the wind tunnel and the fresh energy brought by the new team principal, Frederic Vasseur's arrival to the team. They need something more than that, and a good place to start would be the front wing. Even if it's a tiny difference in speed they can achieve, it still matters a lot. In Formula 1, even being 1 second faster than your opponent can make the whole difference between a championship and second place. While it is a controversy, it's nothing that we're not used to. Controversies are a part of the sport, and in situations like these, every small inch and detail matter. We can expect the other teams to not let this slide, with Mercedes looking to come back to the top and Red Bull trying to hold on to their title. Ferrari have clearly stated their intentions with this front wing. They're not coming into the next season half-heartedly. We can expect the fireworks to start flying right at the start of the season. Mercedes was told last year that it couldn't race with the same front wings because the separator design violated a guideline that specified that they had to be there mainly for mechanical, structural, or measurement reasons. For the FIA to come back and change their minds about this definitely raises some questions. Are they playing favorites? While the former rules didn't dismiss the possibility of the supports having some aerodynamic effect, the gray area forced Mercedes to shy away from moving forward with them in order to avoid controversy. Ferrari's usage of the identical design for its SF23 is now the main issue of contention because it was revealed that regulations had been altered over the winter to remove the requirement for them to be primarily for non-aero reasons. That effectively opened the door for the changes Ferrari made to their car, with the team arguing that the FIA had given it complete permission. Speaking to selected media about the front wing situation causing some interest from rivals, Ferrari team boss Fred Vasseur said, "When we launched the car with these kind of parts, we were sure to have a discussion with the FIA." Vasseur claims it was crystal clear that the front wing was completely okay for the FIA. He doesn't really care about what the other teams think at this point. Vasseur played down the significance of his team doing something others had not thought of, as he said it was a pretty normal element of Grand Prix racing. Ferrari's not the only team to have aggressively pursued a design change thanks to the wording of the new regulations. Mercedes has also kept intact the end plate gap solution that ran from Miami last year but was thought to have been banned over the winter. For 2023, it has kept the basic concept but complied with the rules by attaching the flaps to the end plate. Rival teams have been keeping a close watch on the various front wing tricks that have emerged and will do their usual analysis before deciding if they follow suit. Asked whether or not ideas like Ferrari's were something that needed chasing, Alpine technical director Matt Harmon said he thinks the idea is very specific to the Ferrari car. Whether or not they would adopt it is not something we can say for now. We'll be here to see it all, and we'll definitely keep an eye out for the performance of Ferrari's new front wing. Do you think it should be illegal? Let us know your thoughts about this development in the comments, and until next time.